Training needs to be a continual process that accompanies the whole project. It's not only something that is done during the initial requirement planning and then is finished. And after that, there's the building and the planning and the realization. And then the people come into the rooms and see what was developed for the first time. That can't be how it's done. Instead, it's really necessary to prepare for the startup in the new facility with various types of training being conducted. You need to introduce the buildings and the space and the functionality that is actually provided to the involved persons, even if they have been exposed to it again and again in the planning process. It is simply very important that the employee's identification with the project that was established at the beginning of the project is maintained till the end. That can be difficult because, at least in Germany, projects take an unbelievably long time to complete with the different authorities that are involved and all the necessary reviews and release processes. Larger projects can take 7 to 8 years to complete. And you can imagine how much project identification is still there after such a long time, with a personal turnover that can happen in the meantime. For that reason, it's all the more important to prepare the move into the building so that the people who are new in the hospital can identify with the project. And when they come into the space, they say, yes, now I can see how I'll be able to work here, and I think the approach is great. And after that, there is still an adjustment process that needs to take place as people get used to things and processes are optimized. And often that step is not taken into account. We do the requirement planning and then cannot support the project until the end. There may be preparation for the startup in the new facility, but often not with the same intensity. And the worst thing that can happen is when people come into the new space and say, no, I cannot imagine working here. And in cases like this, they are coming into the new buildings and have the patients already there, and in effect are thrown into cold water.
The
manufacturers should present their devices in their complexity and make clear the advantages that these devices bring to the processes in the hospital, and then really practice using them with the users on a live basis. Or that's done virtually, which is happening more and more, or with video, or also with virtual reality. And with virtual reality, hospital personnel can begin very early to experience the whole work process, even without the patient being there. But they still experience the process. And even though the building is not completed, this process with a medical device can be experienced and carried out. And I think the role of the medical manufacturers is not just to sell the devices and put them into the building and connect them up, but to support the whole medical process as closely as possible, also with the involved people. The idea is to have people who have real experience from the medical field get involved and cooperate in training with the new devices.